everybody, today we're going to tell you what a bike lane is. So basically it's just what it sounds like. It's a separate lane on the road for bikes only. It's not for cars, it's not for people who are walking or running, it's just for bikes. Typically bike lanes will have something like this symbol, right? We see here a little person on their bike on the road pavement with an arrow above it that tells you which direction that you should be cycling in the bike lane. Definitely don't go the opposite flow of traffic because that can be pretty dangerous. They're usually one way.
Another thing to know about bike lanes is that they can be protected or unprotected. Protected bike lanes will have some sort of buffer or barrier between the lanes for cars and bikes on the road, just like you can see in these two images. These buffers or barriers offer more safety and protection for cyclists from cars. Unprotected bike lanes do not have this extra buffer or barrier between car traffic. You'll typically find mostly unprotected bike lanes throughout the city of Portland. The first thing to know about using the bike lane is how to enter the bike lane safely. So you'll stop at an intersection when you're approaching the bike lane and you'll check to make sure all is clear before proceeding, just like normal. If there are other cyclists passing by, allow them to go first before you turn into the bike lane. Definitely also check for other cars up ahead blocking the lane. And when you're turning, of course, signal clearly and then go ahead and enter the bike lane. The next thing you'll want to know is how to safely exit the bike lane. So if you're turning right to get out of the bike lane, it's pretty straightforward. You just want to make sure that you're signaling clearly and that everything is clear, no cars are coming before you turn. If you're turning left, it's a little bit more involved. So if you're making a left turn to get out of the bike lane, you will need to navigate out of the bike lane and into the car lane furthest to the left to make your turn. Start checking behind you for oncoming traffic, maybe 1 or 2 blocks before your turn. Clearly signal to the lane to take the lane and quickly make the turn with car traffic. You're also going to come across other people, other cyclists using the bike lane. So it's important to listen for other people and signal clearly while riding in the bike lane due to high volumes and speeds of car traffic on the road. When you're passing others, clearly and loudly say on your left and or ring your bell before passing as a warning. Oftentimes when you're riding in the bike lane, you'll come across an area that is blocked by a car or a large truck. So when the bike lane's blocked, you want to make sure that you are checking behind you for oncoming traffic in the car lanes. When the coast is clear, you're going to signal that you're taking the lane, move into the car lane to bike around the parked car or truck that's blocking the bike lane. And then once you pass by, you will return to the bike lane once it is clear. You'll also want to take note of people who are getting into and out of their cars in a lane of parked cars, typically on the right side of the bike lane. So you'll watch out for any doors that are opening or closing so that you don't get doored or hit by them. And you're going to want to check behind you and take the lane, the car traffic lane that is, if you need to get out of the bike lane if a door is open or blocking it. The last thing you'll want to know about how to use a bike lane is bike lane specific infrastructure. The first one we'll talk about is a bike box. It looks like this, like you can see on the image, where it is a green box at the front of an intersection. Basically, this is just for cyclists to stop at, and it helps to keep them visible and safe at intersections. You also might come across some bike specific traffic signals. Now, some of these will look like what you see on the screen, and they'll have a light that is exclusively for cyclists, and then I'll have a little sign that says bike signal. Others might look a little bit different. So other traffic signals might have a designated spot for cyclists to stop at for a red light, and you'll see it looks like this. There's like a little bike stamp almost on the road. You'll just stop and go through these signals as you normally would at a normal traffic signal, but pay attention to important signs that may give directions specific to cyclists.